This is part two of a political commentary. I started expressing my views a few days ago on a 11-minute video, and my thoughts were because I was thinking and expressing them at the same time, it's difficult to find the words. So I want to go back and touch a couple of points on my video. So this is current Canadian politics. I might call this video Canada Today, because I had a video like 14 years ago when Stephen Harper was in power and Obama was in power, and I recorded it and called it America Today. So one good video every 14 years. So see you in 2039. Okay, here's what we're gonna say about the Canadian American Union. So what I wanted to say was it would be good to take steps, like if Greenland joined Canada and we made some kind of like Great Northern Union where we used like a kind of currency like the euros. So that's an example of what Canada can do to strengthen its relationship to America, is start having people who are allowed to work in America come to Canada, and people that are in Canada that are allowed to work come to America. So if you want to talk about joining countries, those are things that we could do in the meantime. Joining countries and eliminating Canada altogether. Becoming a state is it's not a it's not the most it doesn't leave the most desirable taste in your mouth. Now let me give you one example. I love America. First of all, let me say that I love America. I would be proud to be Canadian. I'd proud to be American. Sorry, Freudian slip. I would be proud to have dual citizenship. In fact, one day I want to live in Beverly Hills. I love California. Anyways, back to what I'm talking about. The euro. Look at what happened in the European Union with with the different countries coming together, and England breaking off again. So we don't want that situation with England breaking off again with the pounds and stuff like that. But it would be nice to have a I guess you could call it a centralized currency, because look at what Russia is attempting to do with the BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and other nations trying to ditch the US dollar because of sanctions. Now, we can step it up the thing is that Russia is in war right now. We're not in, North America is not in military mode. We're not in Afghanistan. It's a war footing. Russia's in a war footing. It's making moves. Canada and America, the trick is to act like you are without actually hurting anyone. So, for example, like I said about Greenland joining Canada, or Canada, Greenland, and America sharing one currency, incredible, and that would be huge. What the goal right now in terms of world politics is to collapse Russia economically. That's the best thing. We don't want nuclear war. We don't want this shitting Ukraine to continue. We want Ukraine to be free and be peaceful and have their borders respected. We want Russia out of Crimea. So what needs to be done in terms of speaking as a Canadian, and I wish just Justin Trudeau could hear me, because he's already done it once. He made a pipeline a federal project, and in doing so, he bypassed many types of bureaucracy and red tape. He did it already in BC when he tripled the Trans Mountain pipeline. Now he can do it and push it through. Sorry, Quebec. Gonna have to take one for the team. Even the East Coast, I don't want to risk an oil spill, but you know what? We need to get oil Russian gas, and we need to go from the east coast of Canada to Europe, get them off Russian gas, get them off Russian oil, completely cut off Russia economically. That's their lifeline. If Russia was bankrupt and collapsed, then they couldn't afford to go to Ukraine. So that's what needs to be done in Canada. And I know the premier of Alberta is on board with it. I've been reading lots of articles about this, and there's that, like about, oh, Quebec doesn't want it. Oh, Quebec's considering it because of American tariffs. Get your mind right. Like, let's talk about if we did it. You know how rich countries like Saudi Arabia, people that are like actually doing really good, places that are doing really well with their oil, have so much, there's no poverty. It's not a trickle down, it's a flood down. Canada has so much natural resources. We could be so rich. And the timing is, I want to do this for the right reasons. The right reason is to stop the war in Ukraine. Number two, it increases the economy in Canada. Number three, it avoids the tariffs with America, because Trump is talking about putting on tariffs, 10% on Canadian oil that comes into America. But regardless of that, I'm not opposed in any way to sending oil to America. In fact, we should also launch the Keystone XL pipeline ASAP. Um, it is time for Canada to get in bed with America and in Europe and get our allies together. The fact that there is an isolated war in Ukraine doesn't mean we should be relaxed. The fact that it's isolated to Kursk and to parts of eastern Ukraine does not mean that the rest of the world can just sit back. This is exactly what happened when the Nazis came into Poland or in France. Like, in the beginning of World War II, how they came in, and then you thought that it was over, and they kept going and they kept going. Russia will swallow up anyone who's not NATO, and they'd be steamrolling. That was their plan with 3 years ago with this special military um, operation. Their plan was to come in and take over, and then they would go to fucking, I don't even know. I can't even keep track of all the places Russia's messing with. But that's what they want to do, and we know Putin has this empire state of mind. He wants to be a great leader and have a very strong empire like the USSR. He wants to bring things back to those days and the strength of the Soviet Union. Um, the world would be a better place without Putin. As bold of a statement that is, when you're speaking up against a dictator who is willing to go to different countries, and don't be lulled into some kind of false sense of security. Russia is willing and capable of doing very bad things. Um, and the only way we can control this kind of outbreak is to stop a nuclear war. We need to bankrupt Russia, and then Ukraine can regain um, their borders. This video has turned out to be very disappointing. I thought I'd have better things to say, but I guess that's what I want to say for today. I really wish that Trudeau would make that pipeline happen and show Russia that there are no more that we're not going to use it. If it behaves in this way, we're no longer going to have them part of the economic system. We're going to cut them off. And there, this is like a child who behaves poorly. You have to react in the right way with discipline in order to correct this behavior. Otherwise, it's just going to continue. Okay, those are my thoughts. It's like February 6th today, 2025. I hope people enjoy it and not too bored by this. And be safe. And God bless Ukraine and everyone who is working towards peace. And I'm sure I'll talk to you in a new video. Max for Prime Minister 2025.